easy to demonize and weaponize that as an issue. It's a lot harder to solve it. It's a lot harder to fund opportunity and security in those countries and have right oversight on that. It's a lot harder to patrol the border and make sure that criminals and terrorists aren't coming across. And it's a lot harder to have open arms and open hearts and open minds in America when they get here. That's hard. In 2014, 68 Republicans and Democrats in the Senate voted for a comprehensive immigration package that put 20,000 new border agents at the border. All it needed was to be voted on and passed in the House. Kevin McCarthy, the leader of the Republican Party, and his team never allowed it to come up for a vote. In effect, they defunded the police at the border. What difference would it make if you had 20,000 more border agents at the border today?
That would advance our mission to secure the border, Congressman.
No further questions. Thank you.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Georgia for 5 minutes, Mr. Clyde.
Secretary Mayorkas, would you agree with the statement that an agency's priorities are evidenced by where it spends its money?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fine, thank you.
To some extent, if we get the money as we
where
assess
you
it to
spend
be,
your money, that means you already have it. Okay, so looking at your budget here, looking at what I see, I'm noticing Customs and Border Protection is down 1.03 billion, a 7% decrease. I'm also seeing that you're having a Immigration and Customs Enforcement request down 400 million, a 5% decrease. Cybersecurity down 83 million, a 3% decrease. That's a total of 1.5 billion in reduction. But where I see an increase is U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, a 55% increase of over $250 million, an increase. So it appears to me that we're seeing the effect of your policies right here. And it's called the border crisis. 221,000 encounters in March of 2022, 28% increase from March of 2021, a 542% increase from March of 2020. This is the highest number of monthly encounters in the last 2 decades. Border security is national security, correct, sir?
it is a
Okay,
part
great.
of.
So this is your
national
report
security.
card. This is your job review. And we are seeing the effect of your priorities by a massive increase in the number of illegal encounters at the border. These priorities are not securing the border. These are focused on increasing illegal alien processing. That's what I see from your budget. And then for you to tell our ranking member that you will not lose operational control of the border, you've lost it already, sir. 500 to 700,000 gotaways last year alone, and you say our border is secure? I disagree with you, sir, and I yield back.
Time has expired. Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Nevada for 2 minutes, Ms. Titus.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to go back to the point that was made by Mr. Langevin about election security. CISA provides a lot of services free to state and local governments so that they can use those services and resources to reduce both cyber and physical risk to our election systems. The election system has been designated as part of critical infrastructure. And yet, if you look at the budget, that infrastructure research lacks funding from the Science and Technology Directorate. I wonder if there are any plans or any funding opportunities through the Centers of Excellence program to allow the Science and Technology Division to work with universities or other organizations so we can leverage what DHS does invest to try to be sure our election systems are safe and free from attack.
Congresswoman, we are integrating the work of science and technology in everything that we do. One of our organizational priorities that I set out for the department is to actually harness technology and innovation, and the Office of Science and Technology has a seat at the leadership table more than they ever have. And we are indeed using their extraordinary expertise in varied mission sets, including in election security.
Well, I hope you'll reach out to some of our universities. I know UNLV has a major program in cyber technology, cyber protection, and I think they'd be able to contribute maybe to some of some of your efforts here, or some of those centers where they are focused on terrorism as well as on elections?
Most certainly, Congresswoman, and we'd be pleased to follow up with you in terms of the specifics of how we can most effectively do so.
That'd be great. Thank you. And I'll pass that word on to UNLV. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Gentlelady's time has expired. Chair recognizes gentleman from Florida, Mr. Jimenez, for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and since I only have 2 minutes, I guess I'll run through this. I've been to the border 3 times and spoken to a number of Customs and Border Protection agents, and every single one of them has said in order for them to do their job, they needed that wall to be constructed. They needed the policies that were in place during the Trump administration to be reinstated, and they needed more people. Every single one of them, and I've been there 3 times. And so, Mr. Secretary, one of the first acts that the President Biden did was he stopped construction of the wall. One of the also first things that he did, he stopped he reversed all the Trump era policies. Isn't it a fact that by doing that, you've actually, the Biden administration and your administration of the Biden administration's policies have actually contributed to this 5-fold increase in the number of people that we've encountered at the border since March of 2020?
Congressman Jimenez, I would disagree with that, and if one takes a look at the landscape across the region, one would understand.
Okay, good. You disagree.
that
That's good.
the
That's
challenges of
fantastic. Excuse me. You disagree. That's great. Okay, I got it. All right. So I got 2 more questions. How many people that are actually crossing the border are asking for asylum from Mexico?
I can provide that data. It'll take me a minute, but if you'd like, Congressman,
Well,
I can follow
I
up.
can tell you that in March, in 2020, it was 5%. So it's only 5% of the people are actually asking for asylum from Mexico. Wouldn't it be wiser to return the rest of them back to Mexico and go back to Mexico and not relieve Mexico of its obligations to control its border and disincentivize other people from coming across our border? I think that would be a logical step. And then, so if that's the case, why is the administration fighting the return back to Mexico policy?
Oh, Congressman, individuals who do not qualify for relief under our laws are removed from the United States.